So just arrived on site, got Isaac with me today. We're down to 2 men, Ronald, who you know here full time, Stephen, who's here on a contract basis for good reasons, which I won't go into. Then we have basically some repair work that's been taken. So the banks, as you can tell, aren't always straight or level. So we're just trying to do that. So this part we want to raise it up slightly so we can increase the water level. So they started putting some sacks here. Over there, they're levelling that level. They are just sorting that out, making it flat. We have had a problem with erosion. There's an issue there which needs to be fixed, so I'll get them on, ask them to do that today. And then you can see the water in the ponds. So where there's vegetation, we want a bit of vegetation, but not really overgrown, so it needs to be cut. They've cut it around the side. So it's beginning to take shape, and I'm pleased with how the ponds are starting to look. We also need to put netting over these ponds where we've got our brood stock, and then this pond here needs to be filled in. So, and there's a bit of wee bits of repair work there. So yeah, getting there. I did bring my binoculars with me today, so I wonder if I'll get to do some bird watching. I haven't actually managed to do any yet here, which is crazy considering I've been here for what, 8 months now, and yeah, just run out of time. But we'll see. Things are starting to just wait for fish to grow. We've got other things we're doing, BSF, that type of thing, but some of the manic work has sort of slowed down, which is great. Now here's Dan, he's the fisheries officer for the district. He's come to check on our progress. Right, so we're trying to get these broodstock used to feed, because obviously they're wild fish, they're not used to it. So Isaac, go on then. Throw it far out. That's it. This is, to be honest, this is a bit small, this feed, but let's see if they take it. No, let's just leave them, let me put one in, and then we'll just see if they'll take it. That one is a bit further away. They are feeding, just reluctantly. Basically they don't know what it is, and of course they're scared, all that type of behaviour, so yeah. So there's Dan saying they're over there, so we're going to have a look. Just try this new spot. Not seen anything yet, but I mean, where are they? They were down here, were they?
Now they are the other side, they are feeding.
Oh yeah, you can see them in the water. Yeah. So, we have a fish here. Just disturbed it, but it's just made a little nest. I thought it was dead, it was so still.
It has made a nest here, it wants to breed.
So can you see the outline of the nest? It's pretty good, isn't it? So this is the outlet, we're just fixing it. There was a net over the top of it, but it was flush with the pipe. So we're putting this over so it's a bit more, there's a bit of space, because basically what happens is when it got a lot of rainfall, this outlet can't cope because it gets blocked with debris. So if you put it a bit round like that, so you see it's not quite, there's always space then for the stuff, the rubbish to go up against and the water to drain out. So that's what Ronald's fixing. Just come up to where the channel is. The water comes up, and it just, I haven't been up here for a few weeks now, and it's just changed so much. Look how much vegetation there is. You can barely see the watercourse, but it's good. This is what we want. We're going to plant some native trees as well along this river at some point, and it'll be a nice little jungle, little area for the wildlife. So yeah, looking good. You can't see a thing, look, the water's just there. You can hear it though, which is great, and that is what we want. We want to hear it, because I know that it's bringing in, you see it falling down there, it's bringing in oxygen, which is fantastic. So yeah, so I just thought I'd come up to the inlet. You can see it's, well, this is the repair job we did, which is sort of holding. I mean, yeah, the important thing is the pipe that's there is buried, you can't see that. But you can see someone's come in here, cleared a bit of vegetation out, because it's definitely a lot less. And they've put this semi-fence, I think that might have been us actually. So we'll probably try and enclose that with some barbed wire. You can see that this here is there's just so much water coming in, it's overflowing, which is good. But I think it's partly because the pipe is right where our water comes from is not as full as it should be. It's not there's a lot of water coming in it. Suspect some more blockages. So now we've got a bit of breathing room, we'll be fixing that as well, because it needs to be made properly good, so we don't have to keep coming back and repairing stuff. This shouldn't really be happening because the volume of water exiting there should maintain this level a bit lower. And I think the other thing is cows. I'm pretty sure the cows are coming to drink here, which is okay, don't mind that, but just have to be careful what they do when they get here. I think the herdsman hasn't taken kindly to the fact that we put the ponds where his cattle used to graze. There's plenty of room for them to graze elsewhere, but it's just, I think, yeah, he likes cows, so yeah. Isaac, you're gonna get your feet wet if you do that. Oh, it's gonna come in. This is what happens. See that kid? He's got an axe. And all these species here, these trees actually, they will mark basically a boundary. And our water source is just basically there. But he's got an axe. He was swinging it earlier. Basically, they just come and remove some of these trees for firewood, for cooking. They won't touch eucalyptus because that's a cash crop. And yeah, then you end up taking all your native species down. So yeah. Anyway, of course, I totally get it. If you were in that situation, you needed to feed your family, to cook for your family, you're obviously going to take firewood. But it does mean that the area becomes denuded for trees. So we're going to try and add some in. He's back at it swinging. So yeah, there's the water source just there. So yeah, be one of the nice things that we can do. So this is the eucalyptus here. See, this won't get touched because, like I said, it's cash crop. But it's not particularly, it's not native. It's not very good for the environment. It outcompetes all the other trees. And yeah, I want to plant some slower growing ones. There's quite a good rash of nature we've left here, looking pretty good. So happy about that. But we'll carry on planting some more at some point. There's that kid again. He's obviously collected his firewood. Now he's moving up. Poor Isaac's getting stuck on the thorns. Can't let me help you. The difference in childhood. One kid working, this one having fun with me. So at the BSF site, loads more have hatched, which is good. In 2 cages. Still a bunch to hatch, I think. And yeah, we haven't seen any eggs yet. But the maggots are pretty much over. So this is not how you would want to do your BSF. This is just our prototype. We're going to try and do it much neater in these little basins. But we're just going to dump this. This is good. Well, eventually, it's not totally processed yet, but it will make good compost. So we're just going to dump this out, and then it'll dry out, and then fall into good compost. Basically, it hasn't been properly digested yet, and it was too wet, which is why we bought all these sacks. And even over there, we've got some. These are full of rice husks, which is like nobody uses them, so we use but they're dry, of course. So we'll use that for just to dry out any feed that we're giving to the BSF. So I'm just going to dump the compost over there. Yeah, I'm sure they'll plant some vegetables here at some point. We'll get some in there. Excited because we've got a couple of monkey visitors. They do come out at night. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. You can. There's a mum there. She's over there. See? Running. Isaac's very excited.